We got 75 showings.
75?
That's right.
Oh my gosh, this was hot.
We have 11 offers we had on Sunday, 5 p.m.
Oh my gosh. What's the
We're not
highest
gonna
one?
put it up. We're not gonna put it on YouTube, Jerry. I'm sorry.
Why not? This is the coolest story ever.
We're not gonna.
What's
We're
your
not gonna do it.
highest offer? Let's hear it.
50 to 70. So I got 3 offers at 70 as is, closing in a week, 10K deposit, and I took one. So we're hope to close on Monday. Jerry, I got a tour takedown.
Yeah.
It's something crazy. It's agent outreach that I'm doing once a month. The agent named Tony, he texted back. I got a friend. His name is Joe. Has a property structural damage. You want to have a look at it? I said, sure, no problem. He said, I don't want to deal with it. Take it over, call him up. But call up Joe. I told for Tony, hey, I ran my numbers. I'm probably 65, 70. He said, I think Joe needs lower than that. So I called him up and he told me the whole 9 yards. The city passed by 4 weeks ago, hand him over a violation of structural damage. The whole foundation have shifted. 10 years ago, next property was a tear down. Also, the city took it out. So he just wants to get rid of it. So I looked it up. I looked it up on the LNI, which is the city's website. The city was saying, I don't remember, somewhere mid-October, whatever the date they gave him. I think it was $25,000 to $3,000 fine per day. So he was like, he wanted
Per day.
per day,
2,500
yes.
a day. Oh,
Yep, that's what they do, $2,500 a day or something like that. Obviously, there's a process. You got to go in, got to put in a permit, a make safe permit. From the make safe, you get engineer's report. There's a process, right? But he just wanted to get it off. So I ran my numbers, and literally, he told me I had a guy. He had an engineer report, which was very helpful. He said he had a guy looking at the numbers. It's a tear down, period. I said, okay, well, I have a property close by. I'm finishing up. My guys are literally 5 blocks away. Let's pass by. I handed over the engineer's report for my contractor that is doing a job a few blocks down. He went by. He said, listen, Chaim, you might be lucky 35. You might be not lucky the LNI, which they're called license and insurance. I think they're called. The city, they will be on top of you. You might end up at 70, 80. So it's, ARV is 250, 260, as is 120. It's not something I would take off to re-up myself. So I called him back up. I said, listen, Joe, I'm very honest. I feel very sorry for you. It's your property, but just to put things in perspective, that would be a bank, nobody involved. I would offer them 5K and that's what it'd be it, right? He said, hey, listen, whatever you can give me, please do. I mean, I can't deal with it anymore. I would definitely want to work. I mean, I told him a tear down is 30, 40K. Nobody's going to buy it as a tear down. He said he had so many people like one talking about it, but nobody came that close. No problem. I said, listen, I just want to make sure you're good. Please call your friend, the agent, Tony. Just make sure, you're good with it. No, I don't need to call anybody. I don't need to call anybody. Draw up a contract, send it over. So I draw up a contract, 5K, send it over, closing as soon as possible. And I told him I do need permission from your name because we were one day out, 2 days really tight on getting violation. If I get hit with a violation, possibly I can wait 2, 3 weeks and then make an agreement, but I didn't want to get into it. So I said, I'm going to start working on the permits right away. So I took my contractor, took a half a day, send him down. So at least we're not getting any violations on it. Tony called me up. He said, why did he give you the property for 5K? I said, listen, Tony, you want to buy it? No problem. I asked him to call you because I want to make sure it's my first off-market deal, by the way, directly to seller. So I took the idea from you. You always say give 5,000 for the seller so they walk away with something. So that's why I came up with a 5K.
Yep.
And I told him, listen, Tony, I'm not desperate for it. You want to get it, get it. I mean, I'm not here to take advantage. Whatever you want to do. He said, no, you don't need to tell me anything. Take it. I don't want to be involved. That's it. So I ended up closing a week later. I closed. Are you sure I can say that on the recording?
Yeah.
So
Why not?
yeah, you sure? because
Yeah.
I closed in at 2 p.m. last Wednesday. 4
Okay.
p.m. I listed it for 50.
Hold on a second. How did you stop the daily fines for the code violation?
So I sent out my contractor. It took me
Okay.
6, 7, 8 days, right, from full title and everything else. So I sent my contractor down right when I got on the contract. He said, go down to the city, pull a permit on the name of the owner that is currently there, right? So he went down, put in a make safe, right? Filed all the paperwork, paid the fee, and said, give me a couple of weeks or whatever it is to
So
boom.
they
Everything
stopped
is on
it
hold.
when you pulled the permit. Was it already accumulated up to thousands of
No,
dollars?
no, zero. We
Okay.
were at zero.
Okay. So they basically said, if you don't make these if you don't bring it up to code by X date, we're going to start charging you. Then you put it on hold by going and pulling the permit and letting them know you're going to take care of it.
That is correct.
Okay, gotcha. So I'm following you now. So you got that stopped. You agreed on 5,000 to the seller. He was thrilled to get rid of this thing. Which, Chaim, think about that. If someone doesn't want to go through the hassle of what you did, which is figure it out, go down there, put the stop, pull a permit, get the list, do the work. When someone just wants to be done with something, $5,000, they don't owe anything on it. They want the headache gone. For them, it was worth getting rid of it for $5,000. I
I
don't see
mean,
anything wrong with that.
right, and there's a risk. The property can collapse on me, and then I'm responsible. I gotta take all of the
Yeah,
BOA, right? It's a risk. I might not be
right.
lucky and find a buyer for it, right? I didn't know what's gonna happen. I mean, I didn't even know how to comp it, right? It's always a risk,
The
and
tear down, yeah.
I actually have the phone call of the seller thanking me like and I told him before closing, the day before closing, listen, I'm telling him this is what it is, just being transparent. We want to move forward. This is what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm gonna end up doing with it. He said, like, definitely, thanks for helping us out. Thanks for being here and just do what you said you will do. Back to the other side, I listed at 4 p.m. I took pictures the day before, listed at 4 p.m. with the agent for 50K. And I told my agent right away, we'll do final and best on Sunday, 5 p.m. We got 75 showings.
75?
That's right.
Oh my gosh. This was hot. Then they're all investors because it's not
Yes.
livable. So it's all investors.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's right. We have 11 offers we had on Sunday, 5 p.m.
Oh my gosh. What's the
We're not
highest
gonna
one?
put it up. We're not gonna put it on YouTube, Jerry. I'm sorry.
Why not? This is the coolest story ever.
We're not
What's
gonna
your
do it.
highest offer? Let's hear it.
50 to 70. So I got 3 offers at 70 as is, closing in a week, 10K deposit, and I took one. So we're hope to close on Monday.
So hold on a second now. So what is the end? What is that investor wanting to do? Are they going to tear it down and build, or what's the play there? Do they think they can fix it?
I definitely fixable. My contractor knows the engineer who wrote the report, so I went on a phone call with him together. It is possible, it's fixable. I mean, the report looks a bit scarier than probably it is. It needs underpinning and it needs star bolts and needs some things, right? Heavy stuff. But again, somebody has a team in-house, gets it done for 45, 55, then does a re-up for another 80. He's all in at 150, at 150. I mean, 180 or whatever it is, listing it for 250. I mean, there's still money to be made. I always, you know me, Jerry, all my takedowns and everything I list, I always make sure to leave money on the table for the end investor. That's why I move my things within 2-3 days, right? I don't know if I told you my other one right before that, same idea. I always make sure to leave some room in it.
That's why you get all the showings you get. That's why you get multiple offers, because you're still bringing to market a phenomenal deal for whoever's going to pick up the torch and carry it to the finish line. Somebody's willing to buy that, put in the work, fix it up, flip it for 250 or whatever ARV is. Someone's willing to do that. So, I mean,
Right.
that's you did all the fundamentals. So, Chaim, tell me again, you said it in the beginning, but explain to me again. This was a referral from an agent, but it wasn't listed. So tell me that part again.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. It
Okay.
wasn't listed. It was just a referral, as I always do. I always reach out to all my whole network of agents, right? I get
Yeah.
them when I do on market offers, I save them once in 3, 4 weeks. I always reach out to them and I get leads, right? And that was a referral. Please continue talking to that friend of mine. I know him for 40, 50 years. He has an issue. Try to help him out. So when I called up Joe, Joe said, listen, I know Tony. He's been my friend for years and I trust him. If he told you to call me, let's go ahead and do and make it work.
And the agent didn't want anything. Like they weren't looking for, they were just looking to help out their
So
buddy.
yes, and I called up the agent and I told him, hey, I need your bank information to send you a wire. He said, no, no, no. I said, no, I will send you a wire. And I did pay him $1,000. I sent him a wire of $1,000. And he messaged me, you're far too kind. Thank you very much. I would love to do some more business with you, whatever it is. But he didn't ask for, he didn't need. It was helping out his fellow friend. But I always make sure to give, to compensate the agent as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, that was
Yeah.
before I even knew that I'm gonna make money on it or what. And if I may
Right.
add one other thing, Jerry, since it's not going on YouTube, um, um, Jerry, so to get everything around here, Jerry, just to make a little something. You always, I mean, I've been on the course for almost 2 years or whatever it is, right? You're always saying that, right? The home run deal will come to you 1 a year, 2 a year, 3 a year. I believe that's a good deal. That's will work out well. But I sticked in there. I mean, I also had my hiccups in the first year. I sticked in there, but by your help, and I truly mean it, Jerry. I mean, you were everything for us. We've been picking up quite well, thank God. And it's the consistency, the vision that we have and the community that you said that you provide us. And thanks for being part of it.
Oh, that's awesome. Chaim, you put in the work, like I've said this before to you. You show up, you do the work, you do the calls, you learn something, you apply it. You learn something, you apply it. I mean, you are the epitome of what it means to go through some coaching, get some education, and then take action. And what I love about you, Chaim, is you don't have to have it all perfect. You don't have to necessarily have it all figured out, but you're willing to just move forward, try the things, be consistent at it, and see the results. And I just love that about you. So I'm super proud of you, super happy for you. And you deserve that deal.
Mhm.
You deserve every bit of that deal. I love that you compensated that agent. And just keep in mind here too, that was a unique situation. That isn't the typical way that we're expecting an agent to bring us an off-market lead. Typically, it's like, hey, I sat down on a listing appointment with a complete stranger, and I told that seller, hey, you got two options. We can list this and go through all of that, or I know this investor, Chaim, he can come in here and give you a cash offer. Why don't we entertain both and see which one you like better? Like that's typically how we want to see that go. This situation, though, was awesome because you have this relationship, you make this connection with the agent. The agent has a buddy and they're just trying to help their buddy. They're not trying to list it for them or be an agent, make a commission. They're just like, man, if I can help out my buddy and refer you to them and you guys work something out, fantastic. And that's why he wasn't expecting anything. He didn't want his friend to feel like he was trying to make money on him. He just was genuinely
Right.
trying to help his friend. And so referred you, but you still like that $1,000. I mean, if you think about it, like that's nothing in the scheme of things, but that will go so far with that agent because they honestly were just trying to help their buddy. And you give them $1,000 for literally just giving you a name and a phone number. And then you took it from there. But he's going to remember that $1,000 you wired him. And he's going to be calling you every time he gets something that's distressed because you're his guy now. That's how valuable that $1,000. It's not the $1,000. It's you going the extra mile to say thank you and now solidify that relationship.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm sorry to tell you that, but that's also part of your credit because you always repeat, always compensate, especially on market, compensate your agent so they keep on helping you out. So that's also I mean, I'm not gonna say that I'm a computer. You put everything in me and I go do it. Obviously, you also, figure out certain ways, but the information was definitely out there. Gratitude. I appreciate it. I really
Thank you.
appreciate
Yeah.
it.